Here we are at the top-up show on a very windy Randwick Racecourse morning and bloody cold, mate. What's going on?
Well, cold when the sun's behind a cloud. It was scorching if you're in the sun trap. The wind is from the south, and the map doesn't really show the wind, but it's gusting reasonably. That will help leaders. It will help. It will assist the inside. So. Generally at Kensington we're looking for horses to get well forward from wide draws. That's certainly a good play, but I'd say the inside won't be too bad today.
Interesting highway, Mike, and a deep highway.
Yeah, just looking at the official map and the three horses that have been mapped in the three wide line all got scratched. I wonder if the maps are now predicting scratchings as well.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Trainers are terrified of wide draws.
They are, and we know a couple, don't we? Look, the speed is still on. There's a reasonable sized field, but the firmer in the race is Alcatran. Watching you and Gord on the show yesterday, you didn't mention the horse that I was looking for, which was the Airdero Conqueror, Chapeaus. I thought it was all style at its 2 runs back. Had a break before its last run as well, but just in the mix. Looks an even race. Any last minute thoughts?
Yeah, last minute thoughts. Look, I was a little bit over number 8, but I completely ignored 15 yesterday because it was the third emergency with no rider.
Yeah.
And then you go back and
it's got that massive highway win, hasn't it?
Well, won by 5 lengths, and the two failures are strong highways, or basically lead ups to the whatever it was, the country championships. The trial, horses just behind him with Fell Swoop running second. Nice trial. Oh, that sun's nice, Mark. So keep an eye on 15 there. I'm interested in 15, 8, and rechecking Gord's trials with my Tegus, and I think he's on the right track there.
It is first upland this time of year, and that's Gordland, isn't it?
Yeah, we need Gordo trials. We love them.
Yeah, Rachel King on embezzlement for those who haven't picked that up. Race 2, the mares race, money for Wimlar, Leamy Astray and Constellations, which I know is a horse that you're interested in. It's an intriguing little mares race. I went the way of Helga because of her Kensington credentials, really, but I know you guys were poo-pooing her Wednesday lead-ups, but it's a funny little race, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Wimlar, 4th run at 1400, it's a worry. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at the map, you go, wow, it's going to run well, isn't it?
Looks like it's going to run well to me. I was 5 from 1, and I wanted to check out the parade, the bottom one there.
Yeah, which looks to which is mapped to be on the back of Wimlar. But it's funny that they've backed in the first 2 races. They've backed Barrier 1 and sort of country leaders, Alcatran and Leamy Astray. So I don't know whether that's suggesting anything from a pattern point of view. Race 3, the firmer in the race is the horse that I thought was already quite short but likeable, Pandemic.
Yeah.
Who Mapmaker has rails mid-back, and he's got Maddie Rocks going back in that race with a reasonably fast early tempo, with all cylinders obviously getting across, and you've got that one batting slow fast horse Concrete sort of pushing up there with making whoopee.
It's all over Pandemic. It's a bit colder today, the more it keeps firming.
Well, it's, for a horse that had... Look, don't get me wrong, I like it, but for a horse that had so-so trials and then got the job done well and beat 2 subsequent winners, which I think has perhaps fueled the price surge.
Can the Dark Prince lead throughout there? Can we finally get Glenn Schofield on a horse around 10 to 1 that wins a race? I mean, Glenn either just runs duck egg or wins at 100s. But can't all cylinders kick there?
I suppose it can, because it will have... There'll be some roadblocks there, in the shape of the highway horse.
I think all cylinders represents a bit of value there at $11. Fingers crossed we can get the champion rider, Glenn Schofield, and not the other one.
Surely it'll be fine. Race 4, the firmer is God of Thunder, which again I thought would perhaps blow, because it's going to have to be ridden quiet here.
Is this the Power of Gorge's betting early?
I don't think so. I think, but
trialled nice.
Look, God of Thunder reminds me of, who was that skunky Hawks horse that turned up here in a 1,000-metre race and just went, well, whooshka. It was much maligned, but ridden quiet. You went, oh, well, that's the way you got to do it.
Wasn't it 40s the horse at the time? Was it Long Ones?
No,
I'm thinking of a different one.
I don't think so, but it was a fashionable horse, Hawks horse. Yeah. Anyway, it gets ridden quiet here, but there's a bit of speed out of the race with Witherspoon. You got Miss Invincible and Want to Get a What, Designer Maiden, Royal Witness in the van there.
I thought Rebel Misket's a nice trail of the race with Clarkey.
Gee, I remember when you were talking about it yesterday, I remember thinking, wow, what a great first up race it was for it 6 months ago, and man, she let me down.
Oh, behind Hard Conquered?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hard Conquered, Say, Stella and Tessera. I thought they were stronger horses than these.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, she posied up perfectly there on that occasion.
Never break your heart when a female lets you down, Mark. Story of all men's lives. Don't worry, but you've got to forgive and forget.
It's funny how November Man is the Kensington champion.
Oh,
it's got no wins here.
I know.
But every run is like overachieving.
Overachieving. And I think it's a seasoned horse that, with a little bit of age, is going to become even a better sprinter. I quite like it, November Man.
Race 5, Commander and Gord's how do we say it? What did he call it? Tour Down Under. It's Tour Down Under.
How funny was his alliteration? He was hilarious, wasn't he?
He developed all these tics as the leader of the show as well. He kept playing with his hair and touching his face.
He can work out pi times 7 to 4, but he can't say cat. He goes, cat. He's a funny boy.
He's a great asset to our team.
He's a good asset.
And Commander, which, look, I saw this as a quite obvious play. It's just Nash straight on the bunny here.
I
know it is a wet tracker, this horse, but I mean the Kensington circuit, because it's Strathair, can help can assist those types of horses.
There's two hopes, two riders.
Yeah.
Commander, Watchdog. Very disappointing race for a Saturday race.
It is. There we go, Billy Story again. He likes landing in the middle of the top-up show. The Premier's Cup Prelude, normally run at Rose Hill, this time at Kenzo. Tester Shadow is a slight firmer, nothing much happening betting-wise in this race. I suppose it's, Gay was obviously very keen to run in this race, like instantly scratched from the other race as soon as Tory Joy was taken out of this race.
Yeah.
I guess we get a line on Wolf, and T. Clark thought he rode it very well at its start before that brief spell. I thought he went way too slowly on the horse, but not showing its full wares. It'll be interesting to see how it goes in and amongst the genuine open company speed here. Yeah.
Mounting up mile there for me. I want to see how he's come back, and it's only a small spell. Though. He should be in pretty good order. And 4 the danger for me there, Mark. 13 from 4. Good fellow.
Yes. Well, I mean, Goodfella's primed, isn't he? He really came of age last preparation.
He's a nice horse.
The spring preview. Well, I must say that there's been a lot of talk about this French import Rennes Day and the fact that it ran second to Cracksman, like Avilius had run second to Cracksman. It did get beaten 4, and it did start 25 to 1 off no form in that race 2 starts back.
Yeah.
And it's resuming here at 1400. Avilius, of course, resumed at 1600 and bloused them. This horse, the map has got it going forward at 1400. So I found it a very confusing horse to line up.
Highlight of the day just watching it parade. I'm really excited to see how it parades and what sort of horse it is, but hard to tip it at this stage, isn't it?
Yes.
Hard to have a favourite.
But it is a confusing race.
Seaway just obvious, isn't it?
Well, look, it did set it's a Rose Hill boy. Seaway.
It is a Rose Hill.
In fact, its wins were Canterbury and then Rose Hill. Look, it should run well again, but I think you'll find some layers there as well.
Can't wait for Mounting Up Male there. Even excited myself.
The penultimate race.
Wow, look at the Mounting Up Male. Oh, hang on, I said it.
The penultimate race, the day's biggest firmer, Pembroke Castle.
I mentioned it yesterday on the show.
Yeah, I know you did. Well, it's got an obvious setup here. Chris brought it back to a Saturday with the 59 last week, and of course, what's it got? It's got 52 or something.
53.
Whatever it's got.
With Dolan.
Whatever it's got. With a 7-day backup, it poked home in the slowly run race. Wasn't suited last week.
It is a particularly hateful horse, though.
It's a terrible horse. It's a terrible horse with a chance. I think the current odds are poison. This is Thy Kingdom Comes race to lose, because it gets back on Kenzo. J-Mac will be positive. It's now 3rd up. Like, have a look at its Kenzo run last preparation. When J-Mac rode it, he just went... I realise it's a bit of a disappointing horse that PR'd last time.
A hateful horse, Mark. But they are chock full of numbers here.
Yes, and I was interested to see Gord tipping Venezuela, which I initially entertained, and then I went, well... You're off the monster spell, having won an 1850 at Kyneton off a...
Scratched at Taree, isn't it?
Yeah.
well, this is fucking A grade. This is Saturday, but they were thinking we might go to Taree on a Friday.
Well,
If I told Gorgeous that was scratched to Taree, he would have gave it none.
no, he just loves trial. He's the trial perv of all trial pervs.
Get back to the girls, Gord.
The nightcap. Mr. Songman on the blow. Tell me, is the firmer in the race? Well, I must say, I didn't enjoy doing this race.
I got to say, I agree with that. Yeah, just especially it was just like the last exam of the HSC, and it was the worst one.
You know, because we've got this extremely talented horse that's had the bone chips removed and is sitting up there on the speed but no control at 1100. It's, you know, every run we put in, his 3 runs in New South Wales last preparation were great, but 1100 just feels a bit ick.
The worst thing about this race is the last race of the day and the last horse you study is Ice Ridge, so it leaves you with a particularly stale. It's like ending your meal with an off creme brulee.
Well, there's a horse here, Laburnum, that finished off its preparation so well. I hate the horse. It's by Denman, I think, so it's in my poo-poo stable of.
Well, the other blue colours race, Rainier. They've got
But
something.
it did 0 last preparation.
I
0
know.
like it did 6 zeros.
How much do you love punting? Mark, tell these lovely people what we can do for them.
Oh yeah, so 4 shows a week. My set's every Metro meeting. More importantly, the Mounting Yard Mail direct to your phone 5 minutes before each Sydney race. It's $22 a week, and the first 2 weeks are free. So all you have to do is sign up. You pay nothing, and have a look and cancel if you don't like it. It's, you know, what's not to like about that?
That sounds pretty simple. Even I can sign up for free.
It's like, tell them the price, son.
Exactly. Tell them.
Thanks for watching the Top Up Show. We'll see you on Monday for the rant.
See ya.